Alright, y'all. So this is for lesson 4 of chapter 4. We're going to be working with text boxes. So the file that you're going to need to open is 4-7, and we're going to name that AutoFlow. Right here, when you get this notification of whether or not you want to update your links, just push Update Links. Alright, so we're going to File, Save As, and save this as AutoFlow. Alright, save. Alright, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to get our selection tool and press V to get my selection tool. I'm going to double click the page 1 icon on the Pages panel. So I'm going to go to my Pages panel, double click page 1, just navigate there. And then I'm going to go up here to File and Place. So File, Place. And then I'm going to click on the windmill text .doc. So I'm going to scroll down because it's in alphabetical order. Windmill text .doc. I'm going to press Open. Alright. And so you're going to get this notification that it uses fonts that are unavailable on our computer. That's fine. Just push Close. Alright, you'll see that my mouse has a loaded text icon with it. Alright, so we are going to drag a text frame in position shown. So we are going to drag a text frame right kind of over in this general area right there. Okay, so we just kind of place, oopsie, I'm just kidding, we're not going to put one there. We're going to put one, so undo that if you copied me. So we're going to put one in this bottom section right here. Right through there. Alright, so you see that we have our loaded text icon has gone away. We're going to click the outport right here, so this little red square. And we're going to go over the right column on the page. So we have this right column on our page right here. This is where we are going to draw a new one. So we're going to press Option so that the pointer changes to a semi-auto-flow loaded text icon. So if I push down Option, you see that it gets like a little bit different right there. Okay. So we've selected that down, still pressing and holding Option. We're going to click the top left corner of the right column. So this would be our top left corner of our right column. Alright, and we are going to click and then release. Okay, so when we do that, it's just filling that column with that text automatically for us. Alright, so now we're going to go to page 2 icon, double click, and we are going. Alright, so we have double clicked on 2 to go navigate to our 2. We're going to click the top left corner of the left column on the page. So we're going to just click right there, and you see that information automatically goes there. Alright, so we're going to click on the output frame on page 2, which is down here, the little output box, and we're going to go on the right column of page 2, top left, again, just right there. Alright, so we're going to press and hold Shift to note the change in the thing, but I mean, that takes care of it, we're good. Alright, so what it had done if we had clicked that and we pushed down Shift, you see it just kind of threads. So, yep, see? And we are good. Okay, so what I want you to do right there, instead of just clicking this top left, push down Shift. So this means it's going to thread it as long as it needs to. Well, you see the little, right by my cursor, you see the little loopy. So that just does all of them, and you see it goes all the way through my document here. Alright, so we're going to reflow text now. We're going to double click on the page 4 icon on the Pages 4 panel. Alright, so we have double clicked the page 4 icon to navigate to page 4. So you'll see that I have like an orangey colored page right here. Alright, so we're going to create a horizontal guide at 5.875 inches. So I'm going to come up here, I'm going to click Option down just so that, oopsie. Click Shift down. What? Why aren't you doing what I want you to do? Oh, because I'm pushing the wrong button. Option. Click on your ruler, bring down your guide. Why is my guide not moving? Okay, so we're going to move that guide to 5.8 this at 5.875. I'm going to press OK. As you can see them right here. Alright, so I have that horizontal guide across right there on both sides on the page 4 and 5. Okay, so we're on page 4. I guess I really didn't need the page 5 one, but it's okay. And then we're going to click the left text frame to select it, so the left text frame. And then we are going to drag the bottom middle handle of the text frame's bounding box until it snaps to the guide. So we're going to grab this bottom middle one, which is this one right here, and we're going to drag it all the way up till it snaps to our guide. And you see it just kind of meet that guideline right there. Alright. We're going to, so that means that the text just is reflowed there. And we're going to do the same thing with our right hand frame. So we're going to click on our right hand frame and bring it up till it snaps with the guideline. Can somebody let her in the door, please? Alright, so we've moved both of those up to the guide. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to double click the pages 2-3 in the pages panel. Okay, so we're going back to 2 and 3 right there, and we are going to center the spread in the document window. So that's like by double clicking, that's what that does. We're going to go to View Extras, so we're going to go to View, down to Extras, we're going to click Show Text Threads, and then so Show Text Threads. Okay. Did you do it? View Extras. Okay, Show Text Threads. Okay, so we click that button. And the next thing we're going to do is we're going to click the right-hand text on page 2. So right-hand text. Alright, so when we click on that, you can kind of see what's happening. Is that this goes up to here, down, across like that. Alright. So with the right flame on page 2 still selected, so I still have that selected. Okay, I'm going to press delete, and then I'm going to click on the left hand one. So we should have that one gone. So I'm going to click on this one. You see how my text thread now goes to here. Alright, so I'm going to push Command D, which goes to place something. And I'm going to click 2 Windows PSD. So 2 Windows PSD, and I'm going to click Open. Alright, so I'm going to click the top left hand corner of the right column, so right there. To put that picture there, and I'm going to create a horizontal guide at 5.375. So I'm going to bring a horizontal guide down, and I'm just going to change that guide's location manually without them fighting with it, 5.375, and then I'm going to press Enter or Return, whatever. Okay, so we have a guide right here. We're going to click on the text frame on page 2 and then click the outport. So I'm going to click on the text frame right here. I'm going to click this little outport. Okay, is that was where it was threading across to here. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to click the intersection between the guide we created and the left hand side, or the left corner of the column. So right here is where I'm going to click, and you'll see what it will do is it's going to finish this first column, thread into the second, and then go to the next page. Alright, so this is kind of what your page should look like at this point in time. Alright, so this would be a good place to just save, file, save. Alright, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to go to your page 5 icon. So double click page 5. And then we're going to delete the 2 text frames on page 5. So I'm going to delete these 2 text frames. So delete, delete. Alright, so I'm going to click Layout on the menu bar and click Columns. So Layout, and then I'm going to go down to Margins and Columns. And I am going to increase the number of columns to 3. And then I'm going to say OK. So that changes that from 2 columns to 3 columns. And then I'm going to push Control D. And I'm going to get the sidebar copy doc. And place the sidebar copy doc text. Okay, so I have that thread. That text is now threaded on here. So I'm going to drag the loaded text to create a text frame as shown here. So I'm going to just click right up under here, kind of like right in there, and I'm going to go across like that. Alright, so you'll see windmill design, windmill speeds, windmill productivity across right there. Okay, so now I'm going to go to Object, Text Frame Options. So Object, Text Frame Options, and I'm going to change the number of columns to 3 and say OK. 3 and say OK. Alright, so this threads it into these different little columns here. Okay, so next I'm going to get my type tool. I'm going to just press T to get my type tool active, and I'm going to place the pointer before the W windmill speeds. So I'm going to click right here. Alright, so then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to Type on the menu bar and insert break character. So Type, insert break character, and I'm going to go to column break. Okay, so that forces this windmill speeds to go to column number 2. And then we're going to do the same thing before windmill productivity, and we're going to move it to our 3rd column. So you should have 3 different columns with the 3 different windmill informations there. Alright. Next, what we're going to do is we're going to double click page 4 icon. So we're going to just double click page 4 so that it's our main focus. And we're going to create a horizontal guide at 5 inches. So I'm going to drag down another guide. I'm going to go to 5 inches. So I have another guide right across right here. Okay, you should be able to see it. Right there is my horizontal guide at 5 inches. So he's right there. Alright, so we're going to click the selection tool and then click the text frame on the right hand side. So text frame on the right hand side. And then we're going to click Object, Text Frame Options. So Object, Text Frame Options. And we are going to, I lost where else at, change the vertical justification to center. So vertical justification, right here it says align top. Let's just tell it to say align center and say OK. Alright, the next thing we're going to do is get our type tool. So press T, get your type tool. And then inside the new text box, continue on page X. Where did it go? It's not doing what I want it to do. Let me pause. Alright, so I'm going to undo the last few actions that I did. I'm going to undo text frame options and undo, and I'm going to leave my new guide there. So after I created my new guide, it wants me to take this right hand text box and bring it up to my new guide. So up to that 5-inch mark right here, where my new guide is. Okay, so now that I have that fixed, I'm going to go to Object, Text Frame Options, Text Frame Options, and I'm going to change my vertical justification to center, and I'm going to say OK. Alright, so now I'm going to get my type tool, and then there should be a new text box right in this little section, but it's not. Alright, I'm going to save this, figure out the issue, and I'll go to step 2.